Welcome everyone back to the Sub 4 RA channel. I am your host Rhino, and today we're going to present you with the very first Raceamania, where we will crown our very first real rider champion. 41 different wrestlers representing 48 different cars gonna battle it out to determine the very first real rider champion. Alright, the pay-per-view announcer is ready to call the event. Steve Mongo McMichael, Larry Zbyszko, and Eric Bischoff. This is going to be a head-to-head matchup. One fall, first car to go down the scale quarter mile, through the merge, and down the fat black track, and touches the ring will advance. Taking a look at the obstacles here, which they're going to have to overcome all the way down to the ring. Alright, the pay-per-view announcers are ready. The belt is ready. My drink check kryptonite is ready. And hanging up in the rafters, not racing today, but ready to be the voyeur, Sting is ready. Let's get down for our first matchup. Alright, our first matchup is going to pit Brian Adams versus Giant. Remember, Giant has two rides. This is obviously the first one. Alright, Brian Adams getting the win there. Next up on the card, we have Lex Luger versus the first of three Conan Arriba La Raza rides. Let's get Bowdy Bowdy and Rowdy Rowdy. Alright everybody, this is what it's about right here. El Recos coming from the wrestlers. Look at that, Conan with a match-saving wreck right there, I guess we'll call it. Let's switch the lanes and do it again. Take a look at it again. Conan, K-Dog, Bowdy Bowdy again. Look at that. Oh, and he loses his front bumper. Well, Flexi Lexi, poor baby boy, takes the brunt of that one. We're going to switch them up one more time. There's the bumper. Let's switch them up one more time. For the third straight time, Conan with a match-saving wreck. And this one will end in a draw, and we'll have to see what happens with the other competitors. I'm sure we'll see them again, though, trying to advance. Alright, representing the NWO, we have Scott Norton on the left, and on the right, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge, Public Enemy. Let's do it. Man, Public Enemy look good advancing on. For our next matchup, I don't think I should introduce this one. I think this should go over to our colleague, the Honcho Man, Sandy Ravage.
Oh yeah, thank you, Rhino, for letting me introduce the next matchup. Oh yeah, this guy I know very well. Oh yeah, driving in the Ranchero with Elizabeth on his side. Oh yeah, don't look at Elizabeth. We have the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah, and he's going up against Fozzie's lead singer, Singing Judas, and he's gonna need a lot of singing, Chris Jericho. Oh yeah, I don't think so, pal.
Alright, thanks a lot, Honcho Man. Got a look at Elizabeth there. She is ringside, or trackside. Wow, the Macho Man had that thing won. What happened, Honcho Man?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a little bit too madness on the track right now. It goes down as a draw, but I think he'll be back. Oh, yeah.
All right, meantime, we have Glacier in that Mercury versus Goldberg. Oh man, Glacier takes a spear from Goldberg. Look at this. Race-saving move there. Oh, he gets the spear, knocks Glacier completely off the track. It's almost like we forgot about Glacier. Just like they forgot about Dre. Well, Glacier definitely had the better, faster car, but Goldberg made the save every time. That ends in a draw. We will have to see if we see them later to see if they'll advance. All right, next up from the NWO, we have Stevie Ray, and next to him in the Corvette, the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko. Wow, if these two individuals do this in the ring, Stevie Ray's gonna walk out of this every time, but not this time. Look at that. Dean Malenko muscles him with the use of that wide-body Corvette, and I think Sting approves. Apparently, he's in the rafters. I don't know what's going on there. All right, moving along in the left-hand corner, we got the schmuck, Chris Benoit. Come on, Goldberg, take him down. Need to advance this time. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Goldberg's performance was horrible. Hopefully, somebody wrings Benoit's neck in the next matchup. Moving along, Kurt Hennig, his only ride, so he needs to be perfect. And his right-hand corner opponent, like he has another corner opponent, will be Kevin Nash. Only knows 3 wrestling moves. One of them is flipping his hair. Let's do it. Well, that first fall was physical, but look at the second one. Hennig running just slightly behind, pop up, makes perhaps the game-saving, match-saving tackle wreck El Reco there. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm kind of confused. Look at the spins. How many spins does Big Sexy do here? I don't know. All right, they get one more shot before it ends in a draw. All right, another one ending in a draw. All right, the next random matchup we have, this is Eddie Guerrero's first of 2 rides going up in this extremely weird Studebaker-looking Hollywood Hogan car. That's pathetic. That's the best racing champions have for him. I know the van doesn't fit on the track, but even that, come on, that's pretty weak. Hogan just comes up 24-inch arm short of winning the match with Eddie Guerrero. Here we go, last final match. Well, that just sent Hogan back off to Hollywood. He is done in the tournament. Next up, we see Glacier's next ride at Corvette Convertible versus Billy Kidman. See if he gives him the shooting star press. Wow, that run by Glacier was about as weak as his career ended up being. Alright, moving along, we got the Schmuck up again, this time on another Studebaker versus... Hey yo, Scott Hall, you wanna take this chump down right now, man? Let's do it. Boy, I'm tickled pink, whatever that means, seeing Scott Hall beat the Schmuck Benoit. Alright, here we go. Next up, Das Wunderkind Alex Wright versus We Think La Parka. Well, La Parka was clearly the better wrestler slash racer in that one, but it still ends in a draw. Moving along, the Giant is up in his second and final ride versus Saturn riding in that Impala. Wow, the Giant gets the win. Let's go back and take a look at it. Has problems through the merge. Look at that. Flips over. Hits the rail. Somehow has enough momentum to keep going. And advances. Alright, up next. I know, I accidentally called him Scott Steiner, and I don't know if anybody pointed that out. It's actually Rick Steiner. What am I thinking? Going up against... Bang! DDP in the Diamond Cutter with Kimberly at his side. This is the first of 3 rides for DDP. Wow, did DDP just get Steinerized? Look at this. He's got the win, but look at that. Oh, he gets clipped. Clotheslined, if you will, by Scott Steiner, and he'll advance. All right, next up, Eddie Guerrero trying to send his second car on to the next round versus the Trans Am of the Ultimo Dragon. All right, the Ultimo Dragon with the win. Next up, quote the Raven Nevermore in your left-hand corner. And in your right-hand corner, it's Bam Bam. Bam Bam Bigelow. Oh, crap. Medic! Medic, we're gonna need a medic. Look at Raven. Oh, man. Oh, crap. Oh, wow, he's going to feel that one. All right, now it's Raven's turn. Take a look at this. Race-saving move here. Bam, they both go up in the air. That's amazing. Wow. Holy! Oh, Raven has the win. Look at this. He just barely gets clipped enough by Bam Bam Bigelow, and looks like Raven makes the stop, but no. Bam Bam time. Gets past Raven, muscles past him to the finish line for the win. Wow. Bam Bam Bigelow advances, and I think that impressed Sting. Look at that. Look at that look on his face. That impressed him. I know it. All right, next up, and not only does he have the coolest looking car in this tournament, Ming, if you don't already know, behind the curtains, behind the TV cameras, Ming was the toughest SOB in all of wrestling. True story. Look it up for yourself if you don't believe me. I don't care. And on the right-hand side, aka the right-hand corner, we have Psychosis. Dude, it's like Ming hit the brakes, and then I don't know if he had just enough momentum or got hit. I don't know if he got hit. Either way, Ming gets the win. Fast, mean looking car. Oh man, two buddies. Gonna have to go at it here. Rey Mysterio Jr. and Conan's second ride. Looked like in all three matches there, Mysterio was going to advance. Instead, it ends in a draw. We will see if we see them race later to get on to the next round. Well, no rest for Conan. He's in his third ride in the right-hand corner. And in the left-hand corner, all the way from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Bret Hitman Hart. Hey, you think he's going to get screwed in this one too? Perhaps I asked that question too soon. Yeah, look at this. Oh, crap, look at that. Look at this. And Conan still has enough momentum after doing all that, whatever he did, to finish. Wow. There's Bret Hart looking kind of like he did after he lost the title to Shawn Michaels in Montreal. All right, fans, I'm sure Roddy Piper would agree that if you don't know how to play the bagpipes, you can put yourself in a hairy situation. He is up next. Going up against, we've seen him once before. We're going to see him again. Second ride out of 3, DDP. Ah, bless his heart, would ya? Look at Roddy Piper. He had it all 3 races he had. This one here gets clipped, has problems with that merge onto the fat black track, and DDP pushes himself through and knocks Piper out of the contest. Alright, here we go. A battle of the red cars. In the left-hand corner, we have Big Papa Pump. Holla if you hear me. And all his freaks and whatnot. And in the right-hand corner, we have the 5-time WCW champion, Booker T. Hogan, we coming for you. Wow, it really looked like Booker T was coming for Hogan. But it doesn't matter. Hogan's out of the tournament, so maybe Booker T doesn't know that. I don't know. Or maybe he's having flashbacks to 20-something years ago. I don't know. But we're moving on now. It's time for Disco Inferno Boogie Woogie going up against the Nature Boy. Driving in the limousine. Oh, wait. Nope, he's a Corvette riding this time. All right, let's do it. They don't call him the dirtiest player in the game for nothing, folks. He's probably wearing like 6 Rolex watches too, I bet you, no doubt about it. And probably suits and whatnot, and you know. Moving along, Ric Flair moving on to the next round. All right, here we go. Scott Riggs up against the third ride for DDP. Boy, Kimberly's getting a lot of frequent flyer miles as the protege here. That race was over before it started. Riggs advances. DDP needs to hit the yoga mat again or something. Get a yoga ball or whatever he does. DDP yoga. All right, here we go. Moving along. Sweet looking Camaro funny car here by the Anvil, Jim Neidhart, going up against the second ride in this tournament for Kevin Nash.
Holy sh...
Dude, Anvil was booking it. Wow, that is all the cars. We've seen all the cars now race, and Anvil right now looks to be the front runner. All right, here's all of the wrestlers slash cars that drew a draw. They're going to go at it again to see who will advance on to the second round. All right, here we go. Lex Luger versus La Parka. Wow, La Parka looked very impressive, and that was weird. Kimberly, ringside. I wonder why. All right, here we go. Alex Wright, Das Wunderkind, versus Arriba La Raza, K-Dog. Conan with some crazy move going over the ropes and whatnot will advance. And he's back at it again. Here he is again, this time taking on, all right, go for it, Honcho.
Oh yeah, this time the Honcho Man's gonna advance, no doubt about it. He's the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, especially when Elizabeth is by his side. I told you to stop looking at Elizabeth, Rhino.
Well, they say it takes 2 to tango, and apparently it takes 2 to race, because maybe Macho Man drew inspiration from Elizabeth being there along for the ride. Macho Man will advance, and now we are going to see a cruiserweight battle from back in the day. Lionheart, Fozzy, Judas, Chris Jericho on the left, and Rey Mysterio Jr. on the right. Oh, Mysterio had it. What happened? I mean, he had him handily. Oh, takes a hit on the transition of the black track. And Chris Jericho, the Lionheart, had enough momentum to get through. All right, here we go. Battle of the big boys. Goldberg on the left, Kevin Nash on the right. Well, that looked like a couple of big, bulky guys trying to run down in the ring. That was painful to watch. All right, moving along. There he is, the most hyped up wrestler for no reason, Glacier versus Kurt Hennig. Trying to remain perfect. Well, he hasn't lost. I guess he is still perfect. Oh man, tough exit there for Kurt Hennig. Glacier will advance. And there are your 24 cars and wrestlers advancing on to the second round. And this is how they're going to match up. So for example, on the far left, on the top, Brian Adams is going to go up against, on the far left, on the bottom, Conan. Same rules apply. One fall victory. First car to touch the ring will advance. Oh man, that was a tough loss for Conan. Take a look at this. He gets a car length ahead, but just not enough. Big bruising move there by Brian Adams. Shoves him to the to the right side of the track. Adams goes down the left for the win, and Sting approves, still in the rafters. Not getting involved at this time. And not to say he's gonna get involved. I mean, he is missing at least one tire, so maybe that's why he's not even racing. I don't know. Either way, we're moving on. Public Enemy looked good in the first round against DDP. This is DDP's only ride that we know of for sure that has advanced to the second round. Public Enemy almost loses control. DDP does lose control, almost goes over the top ropes. Public Enemy will advance. Next up, the man of 1,000 holds and the man of 5 words, maybe, Dean Malenko versus Hogan, we still coming for you, Booker T. I thought Booker was going to take that one, but Malenko will advance on. All right, we got a battle of former 4 horsemen. Well, I guess Ric Flair will always be a 4 horseman, and hopefully he kicks around Chris Benoit in this matchup. Ah man, I hate to admit it, but the Canadian Crippler gets the better of the Nature Boy in this one. Oh, look at that. Sends him up the track with the clothesline of some sort. I didn't even need the head drop off the top ropes. The Schmuck Benoit will advance. All right, Eddie Guerrero with his last ride left versus Riggs. Looked like Riggs went for a drop toe hold. Eddie Guerrero reverses the move and gets the win, will advance. All right, here we go. Billy Kidman versus, he looked like the front runner after watching all the cars in round 1, the Anvil, Jim Neidhart. Gotta thank the Stingers, impressed by the Anvil, baby. No doubt about it. And we're moving right along, and this should be an intriguing matchup here. The NWO and La Parka. Anybody knows the history with that? It's very interesting. Is that La Parka? It could be somebody else. I don't know. Either way, Scott Hall and La Parka. That's the scheduled matchup. I gotta say, as much as I like Scott Hall, I'm kinda disappointed La Parka didn't advance. But either way, here we go. We got the Giant versus K-Dog, Conan. Don't know what it is with that front bumper in Conan, but it came off again. Pops the Giant a good one there. Look at that. Wow. All right, for now, that one goes down as a draw. We will see if they get a chance later to advance. That's going to bring up Scott Steiner versus...
Let me take care of this one, Rhino. We got the Macho Man. Oh, yeah, he's digging it. I know he is. Especially with Elizabeth at his side. And if you look at her again, Rhino, you know what I'm going to do to you on this one right here.
Ow! Oh! Alright, I think the Honcho Man knocked me straight. That's Rick Steiner. Look at the move he puts on the Honcho Man here. Clips him at the end. Honcho Man goes over on the roof. Rick Steiner somehow doesn't tip over, and in fact backs it up. Gives the Macho Man a little elbow drop on the way in to the ring, and the win for Rick Steiner. Alright, we are back with a couple of cruiserweights. The Ultimo Dragon in the left-hand corner, and Lionheart, Judas, Fozzy, Chris Jericho in the right-hand corner. Oh, crap. The cruiserweights are giving me a headache. That one hurt to watch. So right now, that ends in a draw. We'll see if they have a chance to advance later. Next up, Bam Bam Bigelow against the hair flipper, Kevin Nash. Oh, Nash had it, but Bam Bam Bigelow does a cartwheel to prevent the win. Here we go. We got Ming versus Glacier. Oh, Ming with an easy win, advancing on to the next round. Here are the 3 battles left, 3 more cars needed before we head to round 3. We're going to start things off with Conan, far left top, and the far left bottom, Chris Jericho, Judas, Lionheart, Chris Jericho. I forgot Fozzy. You want to see a big-time El Reco? Look no further than this. Look at this. Jericho goes flying. Unreal. We'll have to see if somebody will advance out of that. Giant now versus Kevin Nash, the 2 big men. Wow, who said the big guys don't have moves? Look at this. Giant gets clipped, plus has problems with the merger, flips around, regains his balance all the way to the finish line. All right, we got another big man here, Bam Bam Bigelow on the right, and the cruiserweight. Can he get out of it? Ultimo Dragon. All right, here we go. Now we're going to have Conan versus Bam Bam Bigelow in the bigger boy matchup, and then the cruiserweights, Jericho and the Ultimo Dragon. But first, K-Dog and Bigelow. Oh, crap. It's broke the Looks like somebody's going to have to call Randy Macho Man salvage, because yet again, there goes the front bumper of Conan flying, and Bam Bam Bigelow, yeah, it looks like he got a piece of his broke off. All right, let's give the cruiserweights a shot now. Man, this is the second time these guys have gone at it, and I'm getting a headache every time they race. Look at that. synchronized flipping cruiserweight style. Ultimo Dragon bouncing around like a basketball. We're going to shake things up. K-Dog versus Ultimo Dragon, Bigelow, and Jericho Fozzy. And so forth. But we got K-Dog and Ultimo Dragon up first. The Ultimo Dragon advances, but just barely. He eases up, and Conan almost comes in for the win. All right, here we go. Bigelow, Jericho, Fozzy, Judas, Lionheart. And here's the deal. Since Conan made it all the way to the finish, if these guys both wreck out and don't make it down to the ring, Conan will advance. Alright, that's it. They both wreck out, and K-Dog, Conan, Arriba la Raza will advance. We are down to our final 12 cars now. Alright, this is how they're going to match up. We got some heavy hitters still left. Anvil, Malenko, Public Enemy, Ming. Let's see what happens. We're going to start things off, though, like we said, with Brian Adams and Scott Hall, 2 NWO members. Alright, for now that ends in a draw, so that'll bring up Public Enemy versus Rick Steiner. Wow. Oh man, Rick Steiner has no business advancing. That's garbage. Public Enemy had this one. Probably a top 4 car, and look at that. You gotta give Rick Steiner credit, though. That was some great fancy driving, but still. Alright, this could be the matchup of the tournament right here. Dean Malenko versus Ming. Oh man, that was a great matchup. Ming, look at this. He loses the bumper now. Oh, gets smashed. And then shooting out like a rocket. Now, if you'd have stayed on his tires the whole time, instead of doing the barrel roll there a little bit, would he have made it to the finish? Malenko, don't know, but all I can say is, come on, Giant! Cripple the Crippler. Let's do it. Alright, the Giant gets it done. Benoit not eliminated yet because he did finish. We'll have to see what happens with the other cars that raced themselves into a draw. But for now, Cruiserweights again, at least when he was in WCW Cruiserweight, Eddie Guerrero and Ultimo Dragon. And getting the win and somehow keeping on advancing is the Ultimo Dragon. But here it is right now. The car to beat, the Anvil, is the car to beat, going up against Conan. I think the Anvil will take him down handily right here. Wow, we got 2 cars. Well, actually 3 here. We got Ming, the Anvil, and Malenko. All 3 of these cars could win it. I'm just surprised the Anvil couldn't finish, though. So here we go. Back to Brian Adams. He'll take on Ming. See if we can narrow this down. All right, that was an impressive one, but Ming will advance. Here we go, Scott Hall from the Outsiders versus, formerly of the Hart Foundation, the Anvil, Jim Neidhart. All right, maybe it's just me, but I'm getting the sense that it is the Anvil's tournament to lose. The most impressive, fastest one going right now. All right, here we go. Dean Malenko and Conan. It sounded like Rick Steiner was cheering on Dean Malenko there at the end of that match. Here we are. We got our final 6 cars. Can't wait. Let's do it. We're that much closer to a real Rider champion. All right, here is how they will match up. He was cheering him on, or maybe he knew he would be the next opponent. Rick Steiner versus Dean Malenko. Wow, look at this. Rick Steiner gives Dean Malenko a bulldog. Wow, that. And then he has all the momentum in the world. Somehow keeps it on the tires and goes all the way down near the ring. So for now, we're moving on. The Giant versus the Anvil. At this point, I don't know if you can stop the Anvil. You can't contain him. He's going to have to beat himself. That's the only way. All right, here we go. Moving on. The Ultimo Dragon versus Ming. All right, Ming made that look easy. He is now on to the finals with the Anvil. Ultimo Dragon not out of it yet. He did finish. All right, here we go. Malenko and Rick Steiner. All right, Rick Steiner is the third one to advance. The referee must have had his back turned. He didn't see Malenko did not finish. Ultimo Dragon should be advancing. But now they're matched up against each other. Whoever wins will be the fourth car to advance. Wow, not sure if Malenko's tired or what, but the Ultimo Dragon, that's the way it should have been, advances. The Anvil versus Rick Steiner, Ming versus Ultimo Dragon. The winner of those two will face each other to become the first Real Rider champ. Neidhart and Steiner up. Let's do it. Wow, they both got caught in airplane spins. So now we're going to Ming and the Ultimo Dragon. Oh, what a huge upset. He somehow remains alive in the tournament. Ultimo Dragon going to the finals. Ming will not advance. Here we go. Back to the Anvil and Rick Steiner. Wow. Two semifinal matchups. Two huge upsets. Ming loses. And look at, hit the bump coming off the merge. Neidhart, look at Steiner. Rick Steiner knows how to wheel a vehicle. How many times have we seen it in this tournament? The Anvil was the one to beat, and I said the only person that could beat him was himself, and he did just that. All right, before we get to the championship match, how about we have the proteges go down and race? Kimberly versus Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth and that caddy hauling some butt. Looks like Kimberly goes for some sort of trip move here. Not quite. Elizabeth with the win, but now it is main event time. That's right, here we go. A couple of underdogs that don't think they normally would have been here any other way. They have found a way to get here. The Ultimo Dragon versus Rick Steiner. One fall, first car to touch the ring will be your real rider, quarter-mile champ. Rick Steiner lays down the wood, but unfortunately not enough. The Ultimo Dragon, let's go back and see the replay. The Dragon has him beat to the merge. Steiner was gaining on him, and look at that. But he hits him, and bounces right off the ropes, or the guardrail, one of the two, and has enough momentum to become your very first scale quarter-mile real rider champ in that Trans Am. Congratulations goes out to the Ultimo Dragon, defying all odds as the cruiserweight. I'm looking forward to seeing where this division goes. I know it's not going to be the fastest racing because they're rubber tires, but it is intriguing to see them race nonetheless. Comment down below what you thought of the very first Raceamania. Congratulations again to the Ultimo Dragon, and by the time this video is uploaded, make sure you come out to Area 51 on McHenry Avenue, Sunday, April 7th from 2 to 6. Hot Wheels galore and races as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.